achieve. Look myself in the mirror like I believe. Wanna get your day going, it's the fix you need. Work hard so I can feed my nephew or my niece. What I do it for a family, do it to get a Grammy, do it to be the greatest, earliest and the latest. Niggas that tried to play us, wishing they never did, trying to do me favors, seeing that I'm ahead. Blood of the struggle, walking over troubled puddles. Hustles on my chest, no hustle, no progress. Pieces to the puzzle when everything was a mess. I'm just trying to stay blessed, be better than all the rest. I said I feel like I'm the greatest. I said I feel like I'm the greatest. I'ma be here when my time is up. I said I feel like I'm the greatest. One day you'll know when the time comes close. One day you'll know when the time comes close.
Destined to do this, bred to be stunting. I know I'm the greatest, they ain't telling me nothing. Bitch, I'm blowing up and you pressing the button. Pull up the yak, sprinkle some stress in the blunt and watch a professional work. Lower the lights, might mistake me for lucky, I'm rolling the dice. Over obsessed, got these hoes in distress. Prepare for the worst, I hope for the best. Kinda fly to be a genius, never been a dummy. And I ain't sacrificing my integrity for money. Some things are more important, I'm trying to keep the balance. What's understood don't gotta be explained, we speak in silence. Nothing worth it is easy, nothing easy is worth it. Now we facing the verdict, practice making me perfect. Young, rich and motivated, got no time to stress. And good is just an understatement, baby, I'm the best.
I said I feel like I'm the greatest. I said I feel like I'm the greatest. I'ma be here when my time is up. I said I feel like I'm the greatest. One day you'll know when the time comes close. One day you'll know when the time comes close.
I must be the greatest. I tell the world, I talk to God every day. The signs with the
Gen Y, Gen X, Millennials, Generation Me, Generation Internet. You know who you are. You've been crushed, hit hard by this economy.
So if you're dealing with college debt, I mean, maybe you're even trying to move out of your parents' house or start a new business. Look, the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to produce and to get people to pay you what you're worth.
I'm fighting for your generation. I'm not counting you out. I believe in you. We're here to give young hustlers the advice and tools they need to succeed in the 21st century.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Young Hustlers. My name's Jared Glant. It's noon East Coast Standard Time on Thursday at GrantCardoneTV.com. This is my favorite day of the week because I get to talk to the young hustlers out there. We just had what's that guy's name that was in the office today? Sean Christensen from the United States Air Force dropped by today. He gave me a hat. Left it in my office, but otherwise I'd give him a little shout out. But he popped into the office today, huge fan of the show, so I wanted to give him a little shout out. Today we have a great topic. Today we're going to talk about the hardest part about getting rich. Is that a good title? You like that title? The hardest part about getting rich? I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into making money and becoming successful, but there is the single hardest part about getting rich, and I've identified it, and I want to share it with you. But I also want to hear your questions, so call into the show today, 305-865-8668. We got the lovely Robin on the phones today, 305-865-8668. And I do also want to remind you guys, right now we've got a promo going for Playbook to Millions. It's a $5,000 program. It's over 40 hours of live video content. There's MP3 content. There's audio content. There's workbook content, workbooks on workbooks on workbooks. And then you get this big old badass, big, thick application guide for $495. Playbooktomillions.com. And this actually, playbooktomillions.com has a lot to do with what I'm talking about today on the show, which is the hardest part about getting rich. So what is the hardest part about getting rich? Now, when you think about this, you're probably like, man, well, I got to get the right job. How am I going to get the money? How do I multiply the money? How do I keep the money? How do I make the right investment decisions? Like you're going through all this factoring and figuring. But the single hardest part about getting rich Do you know the steps? Do you know the steps to becoming a millionaire? Let's do a little rehash on the steps. Number 1, the millionaire decision. Number 2, millionaire math. Number 3, increase your income. 4, who's got my money. 5, stay broke. 6, save to invest, not to save. 7, get those multiple flows rolling. And number 8, repeat and reinforce with hyper-focus. So which step's the hardest? Y'all know which one the hardest is?
The decision.
It's the first step, man, the decision. The decision, the $1 million decision is the hardest decision you can make. The decision to get super rich, hands down, is the hardest decision that you will make in that entire process. And there's a couple of reasons why. First and foremost, I think people fall short here because they think that you only have to make that decision once. You know, they think, oh man, I want to get rich, and then that's it. And then they don't follow it up with any action. They don't change their lifestyle. They don't change the way that they think or the stuff that they're reading or the people that they're hanging out with. They make that decision on one day, and then a month later, they're like, man, I thought I made a decision to get rich, and it's just not working out. You know, maybe that's for the birds, man. That's for the birds. But that's false, right? So another reason why is people don't fully consider the impact of the decision. They fall short because they don't fully understand the gravity and the weight of making this decision. And as we kind of move through the show today, you'll see how this decision applies to making millions, becoming rich. But it also applies to some other big decisions in your life. Because really what I want to talk about today is how to make big decisions and stay committed. Don't have the willpower to make it happen. Another reason why this is the hardest part about getting rich. They just don't have the willpower, the staying power to stay in it. Man, people always call me when I'm on the show. It's crazy. It's like without fail. And then the last one that I had was lack of understanding about the decision-making process. Now, I'm a very structured person. Like that's part of the duplication piece. I think last week we were talking about, 2 traits that you've got to have if you want to be super successful is number 1, you have to have like ridiculous, insane work ethic. And then number 2, you have to be willing to duplicate like identically, verbatim for the path that people have laid before you. So I very much like processes and systems that I can plug into and just duplicate. It's like if somebody puts an axe in your hand and says, hey, swing this axe 42 times and that tree will fall down. I like that. I like having the certainty. When Grant and I are at the casino in Vegas, we're playing blackjack. I like my, when I have an ace showing up, I like that second card down. When I double down, I like that second card down. I like to keep the suspense going. He likes to just flip it over. Anyways. So there's 2 types of decisions that you are going to be faced with in life, right? You have like long-term decisions. Where am I going to go to college? What kind of job am I going to have? I want to get rich. I want to get a good wife. I want to raise good kids. And then there's short-term decisions like, where do I want to go to lunch? What do I want to do this weekend? What book do I want to read? Like short-term decisions that really don't have any long-term impact. So the thing about short-term decisions is they have very low stakes. Like if I go to the wrong place for lunch, maybe I get a stomach ache. Maybe I'm not happy with my meal. Who knows, right? The stakes are relatively low. Short-term decisions result in very little discomfort or disruption to your lifestyle, in my opinion. Short-term decisions are tiny little steps. And long-term decisions and big commitments are like total alterations of the direction that you're rolling. So, like long-term goals are made up. This is important. Long-term goals are made up of a ton of short-term decisions. So when we come back from the break, I want to talk about how this big decision of getting rich can be broken down into these little bite-sized, small-term, easy-to-digest commitments that will actually give you a shot to get on your way to becoming rich.
Getting rich is not a fantasy. 500,000 families last year became millionaires, and over 80% of them are self-made. Look, are you tired of just getting by? Are you tired of worrying about money all the time? Have you given up on wealth as an option? What if you could get an exact strategy on how to get rich now? But we have that guide for you. Grant Cardone's Playbook to Millions tells you exactly how to become a millionaire and get rich. You're going to learn everything about how to manage your personal finances, the never-before-seen wealth creation formula, how to create a millionaire mindset, how to make millions in business, the top sales secrets, the secrets to closing the sale, learning about follow-up, which is the greatest sales secret, how to create a 10x super life, and how to stay motivated on your way to millions. With over 35 hours of content, and for the first 2,000 people that register, you'll receive a hard copy of the Playbook to Millions ebook. This is the program to get you rich now. If you want to get rich, if you want to get out of where you are and make more money, get your playbook on how to get there. Sign up now at playbooktomillions.com. That's playbooktomillions.com. Everyone has the secret to standing out from your competition. The true answer lies in the application of appreciation. Jay McHugh stands at the forefront of appreciation marketing. He has taken a business from $83 million to over $1 billion in real estate sales through this simple application of appreciation. Take the time to go the extra mile with Jay's appreciation marketing system send-out cards. Get in front of your customers in a personal, traditional way, show them appreciation, and deliver an experience that is unforgettable. To register and find out more, go to randomactsofcardiness.com. That's randomactsofcardiness.com. Anything can happen. Disasters, losses, unexpected things that are not part of your business plan. And when it does, the next step is to figure out how to get back to business as fast as possible. That's where Pride Public Adjuster steps in to properly manage your insurance claim, create a strategic recovery plan, and get you everything you are entitled to from your insurance company. Our experts ensure that your insurance company will restore you to pre-loss condition or better. Since Pride works strictly on contingency, there is no risk and we don't get paid until you get paid. We are the only public adjusting firm licensed in every state in the United States, utilizing our own in-house team of insurance professionals. We work exclusively for you, the policyholder, not the insurance company. Contact us today to receive a free claim review at prideadjusters.com. That's prideadjusters.com. Settle for everything with Pride. That's prideadjusters.com.
Decision time on Young Hustlers. Get involved in the conversation. 305-865-8668. If I haven't told you already, we got a great special going on right now for the Playbook to Millions. Literally a step-by-step guide to everything you need to know in order to be successful and make money. We start out with personal finances. We go through the wealth creation formula, creating the millionaire mindset, how to make millions in business. We got secrets to closing. We got the sales secrets. We got motivation. We got 10X Super Life. We got everything. The millionaire, it's all there. It's a $5,000 program. It's on sale this month for $495. Playbooktomillions.com. You got to make a decision in order to hook up on that program, and decisions are what we're talking about today. So before the break, we were talking about long-term decisions versus short-term decisions, and how if you take these big decisions of like, hey man, I got to become a millionaire. I got to have 50 million in the bank, in order for me to like be comfortable and retire, or whatever the number is for you. Sometimes those can be overwhelming. Those goals can be really overwhelming. Or, hey, I want to be 8% body fat. I want to go to the gym twice a day. Sometimes these big long-term goals can be really overwhelming, but the secret is to break these long-term goals, these long-term commitments, into small decisions and commitments that you can make every single day. So there's actually a process for making decisions. I got it right here. It's 4 steps. Number 1, make the commitment or the decision. Number 2, reinforce it daily with small commitments, even throughout the day if needed, to keep it top of mind. Number 3, take actions that support your decision. And number 4, repeat it over and over and over again. Example of not getting overwhelmed. LeBron James, the man, King James, was just down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. No team in NBA history has ever come back from 3-1. And he came out victorious. Why? He didn't just take it one game at a time. He took it one possession at a time. I mean, he broke it all the way down. So you got to understand that you're making these little tiny decisions throughout your day. From the time that you wake up until the time that you go to bed, you can control the decisions that you make, right? But you've got to be aware of it. So that's why I'm saying, like, you got to make these commitments every single day. When you make a commitment to get rich or to live a clean life or to be healthy, right? Like, that's just one day, one decision, one moment, one tiny little decision in a long road of consecutive decisions that you're making. Even down to, like eating right, making the right decision. Not eating freaking tacos and quesadillas for lunch every day, even though I want to. I like my Mexican food, right? But now it's, hey, let's go get a salad. Let's get the dressing on the side. Let's get the chicken on the side. Let's forego the croutons. Let's pull the cheese out, right? Small decisions along the way. that make the difference. So the question is, do you have what it takes to make the decision? Do you have what it takes? Think about it. Because when you make the decision, some other things happen, right? When you get ready to make that decision, there's some other things that have to happen. And even though this seems like it may be the easiest part of the whole process, is just saying, hey, I'm ready to make the decision. Dude, there's a lot of stuff that comes after. I do sales meetings for clients sometimes. The first question I say is, hey, look, do you guys want to get rich? Do you want to make money? Well, yeah, we want to make money. I know, but do you really, really, really want to make money? Like, are you prepared to handle the consequences of the decision that you make? Because until you're in that position, until you really truly commit, you'll never confront it. So people actually bypass the decision is the easiest part of the deal. So when Grant says, hey, you got to do these 8 steps to become a millionaire, and number 1 is make the decision, people just bypass that because they don't understand that that is the single most important part of the entire formula. Nothing else that happens after that matters if you don't commit and fully make the decision to go all in. And that's why it's so important that you nail the step. So whether you're going to work out or eat right, or you want to have a great relationship, or you want to raise, whatever it is, dude, you got to freaking go all in with this commitment thing, and you've got to embrace the decision. So if you're willing to get rich, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to make the tough decisions over and over and over again? Because it means you got to sacrifice things. You got to sacrifice time. You got to sacrifice sleep. You got to sacrifice creature comforts. Dude, I remember one time when we were living in LA, I'd had like a long day, and every day before I went to bed, I would plan my next day out so that I could go in and be productive right when I got into the office. So I got in bed and I hadn't planned my day yet, and I was laying in bed and I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel good about it because I knew that the right thing to do was to continue doing what I was doing. It was a small decision that contributed to the long-term goal. So I literally remember getting up out of bed, going into the kitchen, sitting down with my laptop, and writing out my next day. These tiny little decisions that make all the difference, right? So that means maybe social life, maybe going out, maybe spending money on cable. Maybe you got to do the Netflix thing for a while. I don't know, For maybe that means you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife for a period of time. I see all the guys in the office here, going through the same thing. I was single for like 7 or 8 years. I think 7 or 8 years. I was so focused on getting my shit together that like I didn't have time for anything else, to any other big commitment like that. So you just have to be prepared with the consequences that come with you making this decision. Let's go to the phones. Is it Danya? Is that the name? Danya?
Dana.
Dana?
No, wait, it's Danny.
Danny? All right. From Texas. Hello?
Hello,
Hey, what's your name?
Danny.
Danny. Okay, all right. Danny, what's going on, man?
I'm good. How are you today?
Dude, have you made the decision yet? Have you made the get rich decision?
That was one of the hardest part, man. That was the one of the hardest part. For a long time, I was, I wanna be rich. I wanna be rich. I wanna, I always think about it.
Yeah.
But I can't say it. I can't say I wanna be rich because it was so big. It's a big world for me back then. When I take the decision and coming up from my mouth, I spoke it, and now I start to feel it. I start to, know that I can do it, know that I can do it. So my first step was set it. Yeah, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna believe it. And when I start to set it, all the following steps, it was easier and easier and easier, and makes sense every step that I gotta do. So that was the first step is said it, spoke it. Yeah, I gotta be rich.
Yep. And what Danny's saying is right. Like after you make the decision, it just gets things just start happening. Like once your why, your purpose gets strong enough, dude, the how and the mechanics, they just start figuring themselves out. So that's why this is so important, this decision. So whether it's, hey, I'm gonna be number 1 in the sales office, or I'm gonna be a great father, or I'm gonna be healthy. Whatever these decisions you make are, I mean, like you got to understand, like once you freaking lock into that thing, dude, that's when the magic starts happening, right? So we're talking about getting rich. We're talking about making the decision, and when we get back from the break, I'm going to wrap it up, and it's strong. We'll see you back on Young Hustlers.
When it comes to knowing real estate investing, there's a lot to know, and it can be extremely overwhelming on how to get started. That's where the experts at King of Flips come in. Available right now is an exclusive real estate program, King of Flips University, that teaches you everything you need to know on how to invest, how to save money, and invest even with no money. Accessible anywhere at any time, let the industry experts teach you how to make millions in real estate. King of Flips University is a one-of-a-kind experience where you will be assigned a multi-million-dollar investor coach to help you get started on knowing how to invest in real estate. Learn the right markets, learn the right signs, and get well on your way to becoming an expert in real estate investing. Visit kingofflips.com. That's kingofflips.com to get started right now. Credit affects every aspect of life. How's yours? At Safe Credit Solutions, we dedicate our lives to ensuring you can get the life you want. Safe Credit Solutions are FICO certified consultants, and we are trained to be immediately at your service to find solutions and repair your credit. Our goal is to grow your credit, add stability, and accomplish the goals you want for your life. With month-to-month services and live monitoring of our progress, we can get results for you within 30 to 45 days. Visit SafeCreditSolutions.com. That's SafeCreditSolutions.com to get a free credit consultation from our expert team. And let's get you on the path to repairing your credit today. That's SafeCreditSolutions.com. Leave a mark in your neighborhood with a lasting impression. A professional landscape can deliver that and more. And the man to bring it to you is Steve Griggs. Awarded the National Best of Hows in Client Satisfaction in 2016 with clients such as Dr. Oz and the Palisade Center Mall in West Nyack. Steve Griggs is New York's best landscape designer. This isn't landscape design, this is lifestyle design. For more information, visit SteveGriggsDesign.com. That's SteveGriggsDesign.com.
So look, it's decision time on Young Hustlers. We're back Thursday, East Coast Standard Time. We always come here. Well, I come here. Sometimes Grant does. Sometimes I don't. You know. But today you just got me. So Thursdays we come here because we want to help young hustlers with their grind. You know, and Young Hustlers isn't just about an age thing. It's about a hustle thing. It's about a mindset thing. So, dude, you got to crank the intensity up to another level to be considered a young hustler. We're talking about decisions today because decision making is the first step in achieving anything of any real significance. You got to make the decision that you're going to do it and you're going to make it happen. So when I made my decision to get rich, dude, that meant starting to cut some lines. That started making some sacrifices, you know, not being able to do things that I wanted to do. The people that, you know, were around me, you know, were doing it. And it was tough. And it took a lot of resilience and it took a lot of grit. It was a decision that had to be made and reinforced every day, which goes back to that process, that decision-making process. Because saying you want to get rich is one thing, but really actually being committed to the decision is something else. And the reason these sacrifices are so difficult for people to make long-term, I think, is because of the expectations they have of the work. You know, if your expectations don't align up with the amount of work that's required, you're going to get disappointed. And if you don't make adjustments and you don't modify your approach, then you're going to continue to have failures, and compounding failures will end up in you quitting because you don't feel like you can win. So you've got to have the right expectations about how hard stuff is to get done, whether it's a job, whether it's making money, whether it's getting a deal, whether it's getting a girl, whether it's getting healthy, whatever it is. You got to understand, the expectations that you need to have, you need to dial up the intensity on that. So, and without understanding a process to really get you committed and to get your right expectations in line, you know, you've got kind of a challenging road, right? So you got to remember the process. Number one, you got to make the decision. You got to commit. You got to make the decision, the real decision. Number two, you've got to repeat that decision over and over and over again, daily, multiple times per day if you're having a tough day, because those small decisions compound and make up our path to getting to the big goal. Number three, you got to take actions that support the decision that you've made. And then number four, you got to repeat that on an ongoing basis. So the expectations that you have moving into this decision-making commitment phase, it's vital. You know, look at kids going to college. I mean, when I went to college, nobody told me how hard it was going to be to get a job. I mean, I literally had it in my head that I was going to get out of college and I was going to make 70 or 80 grand a year. legitimately. Like, I was sold stone cold on it. Hey, I'm going to make 60, 70, 80 grand when walking out. People are going to be, I'll submit my resume once and people are just they're going to be following up with me because there's so much demand. Boy, was I wrong, right? Because I had the wrong expectations. And society had set those for me, right? So that was probably my bad for not owning that. But even, finding the right girl, like the expectations of how hard that would be. Like finding somebody that you actually enjoy being with and you want to be with and you look forward to spending time with and you want to do better because of this person, That's really tough. I'm lucky I got her. I got her, man. I locked it down too. So, and then now we're talking about kids and everything. Like, how hard is it going to be to raise kids? Like, dude, these things are all going to be really hard. So you have to have the right expectations so that you prepare appropriately. This is just a little side story. It probably isn't that really relevant, but it is kind of funny. When my wife and I went on our honeymoon, and we were telling everybody we were going to Italy, and we were doing this whole tour of the country and thing, whatever. And the last part of the trip, we were going to Positano, which is down on the Amalfi Coast, and it's just like gorgeous, beautiful, built into the cliffs. It's ridiculous. But everybody was like, the roads there are crazy, and the Italian drivers are insane. Like, Elena was like, I had to put the covers on my eyes so that, I wasn't getting sick because I was so nervous. And then I was, looking online, researching the trip, and people are like, oh my God, the drivers are so crazy. The roads are freaking ridiculous. And it's just madness. And gosh, I hope you don't get in an accident. And it was all this like, and I was like, man, dude, this is serious. Like, I didn't know it was like a health hazard to go to this place. So I had my expectations that were like, dude, this is going to be intense. Dude, it was nothing. It was a breeze. Now, if I wouldn't have had that set, I probably would have been like, man, these roads are tight. These turns are tight. The buses, they come all the way around there. They don't really slow down. They don't care what's on the other end. They just roll, right? But I was prepared for it. I had the right expectations. So the right expectations will always set you up for success. And it's really your ability to understand the situation and factor in that 10X rule that's really going to start cranking on it for you, right? Like when we hire new salespeople, I'm like, you're going to make 300 calls a day. You're going to work 12 hours a day. You're going to be here 6 days a week, and you're probably not going to make any money the first 6 months that you work here. Now, that's not true in every case, right? But dude, I gotta get in and break their understanding of the expectations and the effort that it's gonna take. I gotta try to stretch that as much as I can so that they actually do the work. That's a lot of the stuff that we do here. Like when Grant says stuff that you're like, wow, man, that was outlandish, that was crazy. He's going all the way to the edge because people are so far on the other end of the spectrum and they need to inch up and get closer. They don't need to go all the way all the time, but you need to be able to push. So that's why we're saying, hey, follow up relentlessly. That's why we're saying ask for the sale. That's why we're saying, go all in, freaking burn the houses down, be a maniac. We got to tell you that to get you closer to where you need to be, where you actually have a shot. Let's go to Casper from the Netherlands. Casper.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Casper?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Dude, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I like being here. Yeah.
Good, man. Hey, what have you made the decision yet to get rich?
I did. Yeah, I did.
What happened after? What happened after you made?
I did.
Go ahead. What happened after you made that decision?
Well, the thing is, that's also why I sent an email last week. I want to start a business, maybe alone, maybe with friends. And the thing is, I need to know what are the good niches to focus on as a student if you want to start a business right now. What do you think is the sort of work that needs to be done right now?
I know that a lot of people are making money in like the renewable energy thing and the solar thing. There's a lot of money to be made online, and I think that there's more and more people that are starting to make money online with information or products or how they market products to people. But you, at the end of the day, you're going to have to sell something no matter what you do. Like you're going to be selling something if you want to create a business. You're going to be selling a product, a service, an idea. And so like like folks like you, that's why we laid out this playbook to millions right here, because we go all the way back from, getting your personal finances ready, understanding what it takes to become really wealthy, creating the mindset. Then we go into how to make millions in business. We talk about identifying the right opportunities and what's going to be a home run and what's not, and the things that you can do in the beginning, getting started in a business that will absolutely crush you. Right? And then we talk about selling the product, closing people on it, following up, making the calls, and creating your 10X super life. Like, that's what Playbook to Millions is right now. You should definitely get this. Have you hooked up for the program yet? Playbooktomillions.com?
Not yet.
Dude, this is a
take a look at it.
This is a $5,000 program that you can pick up for $495 till the end of the month. Make the decision, man. Make the decision, Casper, to hit your target, to hit your goal, to build a successful business. It all starts with the right information, though. So grab playbooktomillions.com today. Thanks for calling in, my man. Randall from Louisiana. Randall, what's going on?
Not much.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Dude, have you made what was the hardest part about making a decision for you in your life? The hardest decision you made?
A little story about me. I grew up, not going to say I grew up poor, but we were very limited as to what we could do and what we received as kids growing up. I made the commitment, when I got married and had kids, I told my wife, look, I'm going to provide for my kids in a way that my parents just weren't able
Love that.
To provide for me. I got in the car business about 3 years ago after 15 years in law enforcement. About 6 months ago, I made the commitment that this was going to change. My income was going to change, and I was going to change it. Got on Cardone University, and I've literally watched my income grow to now it's double what it was 6 months ago.
Wow.
My question is, I understand how much effort it takes to get to where I want to be. My question is, how do you make your money explode into several lines? I hear Grant talk all the time about you need several lines of income coming in. When you dedicate yourself 100% to what you do, how do you have time to get other lines of income coming in?
Yeah, see, and that's where a lot of people get in that position where they're like, hey, I'm doing the right things. I've got my first flow going. At what point do I start looking for something else? And what does that look like? So for me, first of all, I think that, until you get to the point where, like Grant talks about the 40% rule in, I believe it's Creating the Millionaire Mindset. He talks about the 40% rule when it comes to, like, you've got to be able to save 40% of your gross income, which if you do the math on it is like you've got to make some money to get to that point. And so like when you start figuring that out and you start creating enough income to actually support that 40% savings rule where you're saving 40% of your gross income, you're actually getting to the point where you're banking enough money away to make a play. And so sometimes people get focused too prematurely on where to go and put their money. For Grant, it was real estate because that didn't require a lot of, extra energy or attention for him. He had management companies that manage the properties that keep things rolling. And so for me, my second flow of income with real estate with Grant, it doesn't require any extra attention from me. So ideally, you want to look for something that will allow you to still remain 100% committed to what you're doing, but also provide you that mailbox money where it's just showing up every month. So, stocks are I don't know a whole lot. I know that there's some crazy stuff happening right now. And most people that I see on the news are talking about keeping cash right now, not investing it. So, I don't know how hopeful they are that things are going to be very vibrant over the next few years. But, the most important thing is just to do the research and figure out what works for you. I know that there's clubs out there that can help you place money. But the most important investment that you can make is the education in yourself so that you make the right decision. So, that would probably be my best advice for you for now. So I hope that helps.
It does.
Good.
Yes, appreciate your time.
Good. All right, man. Let's go to William from Miami. William.
The most important thing is just... Hello?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Dude, welcome to the show. What's the hardest decision you've ever had to make?
The hardest decision I ever had to make
Yep.
was wanting to become a millionaire.
Have you fully committed yet?
Dude, it has been the hardest decision because I have fully committed.
Yep.
And just the barriers, just the, everything in general, your family, your surroundings, your environment, for me, it's being willing to change everything and being willing to drop things out of my life that don't put me in the path to become a millionaire.
Yep.
This has been the hardest for me.
So what you have to remember, man, because I think a lot of people are in that same boat. I know I was, and I had to confront that when I came to work for Grant, when it was, no unnecessary spending. Everything was spend as little as possible, invest as much time and energy as I can in education and development. It was getting, not hanging out with certain friends, not doing certain things. It was literally a complete reassessment of my life, and that's one of the indications that you're on the right track is you're making massive disruptions to your life. But what's important to remember is the process, man. The first thing you have to do is you have to make the decision. You've done that. The second thing that you have to do is you have to repeat that decision every single day by focusing on the small decisions. So you need to write down and make a list of all the things about, the decision to become a millionaire that you struggle with. And you need to make the decision. Write those things down every day. Maybe it's going out for drinks during the week. Maybe it's watching TV for 2.5 hours at night instead of reading or studying. Maybe it's you're not exercising and going to the gym, right? So you need to write down all those decisions, these little decisions that contribute to the big goal that you struggle with. And you need to focus on those daily. They need to be top of mind. If going out to the bar is tough, then and reading's tough, you need to focus on, hey, what can I do to get just 20 minutes of reading in? What can I do just to go down to the gym and get 20 minutes of cardio in? Because if you're anything like me, if you sit down with a book for 20 minutes, you end up reading for an hour and a half. If you go to the gym for you save 15 minutes just to get your body moving, you end up there for an hour. So you got to focus on these little decisions along the way that that continue to get you where you need to go. You need to take actions that support, the decision that you've made, and then you just need to repeat that over and over and over again. It's like narrowing the focus down and just understanding the steps, and every day becoming a machine where you're just duplicating over and over and over and over again. So just understand, I guess my big message, my big takeaway for the day is that making a decision means more than just making a decision. It means that you're agreeing to everything that is attached to that, right? It means that you are saying that you have the willpower, you have the discipline, you have the determination, you have the grit, you have the stamina, you have the moxie, you have the strength, you have the fight. It means that you're going through and you're validating that you have whatever it takes to hit that goal and to make that target. And that's going to happen day in and day out, over and over and over again. And that's really where you're going to determine if you have the ability to pull it off or not. That's why so few people make it rich, make it big. I think 80% of the millionaires, I just was reading, 80% of millionaires are new millionaires. They're first generation millionaires. So the opportunity is better than it's ever been. But you just have to understand that there's steps to follow and there's a process to follow, and you can win. Break that big decision down into a series of tiny little small decisions along the way, and I promise that you'll be more successful. So look, this Playbook to Millions that I have in front of me right here, it's on sale till the end of the month. It's a $5,000 program. You're going to get the personal finance course because you got to understand about money and your personal finance. A lot of the things that you were taught about money are completely false. You have to understand about wealth because getting wealthy is different than having money. The mindset, the decision, that's part of the decision there, that millionaire mindset, right? You got to understand that. You have to understand how to go make millions in business once you get the right mindset. And then you have to understand how to sell. You have to understand how to close. You have to understand the single greatest sales secret that exists on planet Earth. And then you got to know how to freaking pour some gas on that fire and 10x a thing. We're going to give you all those programs. You're paying for these 4. You're getting 5 more programs absolutely free of charge. It's $495. And you get the audios, which we don't normally give out. You get the MP3s. You're getting workbooks for each of them. You get videos. There's over 40 hours of video. It's all the information and the tools that you need to support the decision that you make to get rich. So come back next week here, Thursday, East Coast Standard Time. Young Hustlers, you know we're bringing the thunder, the heat, teaching you what you need to know on how to get paid. We'll see you next week. Oh, wait. The only people that condemn the hustle are the ones that have already given up on the hustle themselves.